Okay, today I am interviewing the one and only ARYEY Ruben. And
Anyway,
um, do you mind before we get started if I play a song?
which one? Which song?
Hashem, Hashem, Imame al Koponim, 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 Hashem Dimo, Kiva Mayay, Kiva Mayay, Hashem Dimo, Kiva Mayay, Kiva Mayay, Hashem Dimo, Kiva Mayay, Kiva Mayay, Hashem Dimo. Hashem, Hashem, Imame al Koponim, 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 Imame Hashem Dimo, Kiva Mayay, Hashem Dimo,
Okay.
I haven't heard that in a while.
Where do you grow up and where do you live now?
So I grew up in Flatbush, in Brooklyn, New York. And currently I reside in Toms River, New Jersey. I lived in Lakewood for 10 plus years, and then I moved to Toms River. Yeah.
Um, where do you go for elementary and for high school?
Okay, so I went to elementary school. I went to a place called Beretsky or Shraga Beretsky. I don't know if you're familiar with that yeshiva, but I went to that yeshiva and for elementary, and then a little bit of high school, and then in and then I switched to the Mir in Brooklyn for the rest of high school, and after high school, like base measures for a few years until I went to Israel. Then in Israel, I went to the Mir. I lived with Moshe Aaron Friedman for a year. And then I came back and I went to a place called Beis Yosef, Drillman's in Flatbush, and then got married. And yeah, and now I live in Lakewood, Tom's River.
Wow. Um, did you go to base medrash or did you go to college?
Well, some people do both a little bit, but I didn't. I just went to base medrash. I did not go to college. No.
Oh, okay. What did you do after base medrash?
Oh, well, I went base medrash. I guess if you're talking about before Eretz Yisrael, um, I went to Eretz Yisrael, which I guess you could say is still considered base medrash. And then after Eretz Yisrael, I came back, went to Drillman's, which is like a post Eretz Yisrael place. Learned there for until I got married, which was uh, 2 years, a year and a half, and then I learned for like about a year after I got married. So I learned like I moved around. I learned a little bit in BMG. I learned in yeshiva, and I would learn with like be a chavrusa with like younger bacharim for like a little bit. Um, and yeah, and that's it. And then I went out to work. I guess after that, job offer came, and I went out to work.
Okay. Um, at what age did you start singing and how do you use it in your profession now?
And how? I'm sorry, I missed the last part. And how, dude? At what age did I start singing? And what was the second part of the question?
How do you use it in your profession now?
Oh, okay. It's actually funny because it's like my Savta said. I think my Savta maybe said that she didn't think that I would ever sing, like be a singer, or um, I was always very, very, very musical, Baruch Hashem, from a young
Yeah,
age. But I was always much more in tune to. I guess I was much more always more in tune to the instruments, like the actual music, the music. That really affected me. Like just the musicality of the songs more than the words of the song or the singing. I mean, I did love some singers, but it was more like the music, like good guitar, drums, bass, horns, violins, like all that stuff, rhythm, that stuff spoke to me a lot. Like that really, that really made me, as they say, Meshiga. Like I love that. And then I played at a young age. I had uncles. I had an uncle that had that played. A couple of my uncles played a couple of instruments. So when I would go to my grandmother's house, there would be like a keyboard there. Um, so I would mess around with it a little bit. Told myself a little bit, like started figuring out, like I started figuring out like little leads to some Jewish songs. And then my parents got us piano lessons, um, which our first piano teacher we couldn't stand. And then we
yeah,
got this nice, like a nice Russian lady who it's funny, we say that we have no idea where she went. She went to the witness, she must have gone to the witness protection program because we haven't heard from her since. We haven't heard from her since, but she was Rita. I think her name was Rita. And she was great. She was this great, you know, full of life, really fun. She made it fun. She didn't get down like, to the. I was lazy because I had a good ear. So I wanted to hear a song and then I wanted to mimic it and play it. But, so the first piano teacher was like, no, you have to stick to the notes. And, you know, he was much more like rigid and much more like old school type, And she
Yeah,
understood what like I wanted, and she came and she just did like a maybe it was like a quick like simmer type of mazel type or something like that, and she just like wrote down the chords and the notes, and it was like easy for me to follow. And then I said like when she came back the next week, something clicked in me like within that week of the like from her piano lesson to when she came, like I that those chords she taught me for some odd reason, it just clicked in my brain and I was able to like pick up on a bunch of different songs. And then I was able to figure out the lead, the right hand, the lead by ear. And then the chords, like sort of whatever chords I knew from her. And it just snowballed that way. Like Baruch Hashem, I was able to, I thank Hashem for that talent. Like I was able to pick up on a lot just from something clicked. It was just her, and then we continued with her for a little bit. Um, and then yeah, and then she was gone, and then maybe it was Yeshiva that got the way, and then it stopped, and that's it. But I would say, I mean, I wish I would have maybe been a little bit more studious because then I would have maybe learned to read better, like sight read, notes, and all that. And
yeah.
I can't really do that these days, and it's good to know how to do that. It's good to be able to do that, but I can't do that currently. So, it is what it is. Now, you asked me, oh, and then, okay, so that's my piano. And then from that,
Oh,
I got more into I was playing keyboard, got,
yeah,
I would play at like families, my parents would be like, bring your keyboard along to play at the Hanukkah party and play at this Sheva Brachas. And so I ended up playing, like as like still as a youngish kid, I was playing at some family simchas. Um,
yeah.
and then I would say in ninth grade, I ninth grade actually on Tinus Esther, on ninth grade, my mother went with me to Sam Ash. I don't know what it was that why I wanted a guitar. I mean, I always loved guitar. I loved Piamenta growing up. I'm from Rosenblum and Diaspora Shiva band was like yum. Like
Yeah,
they just spoke to me. Moshav band I got into Lance Baum, Soul Farm, that whole, you know, genre, which is not like the typical, pop Jewish pop music. I always loved that stuff. Um, and then so I picked up a like a starter pack guitar, acoustic guitar, and then it went from there. I just like got crazy into guitar, got an electric guitar. I mean, I never became like amazing. I don't consider myself amazing at guitar. I mean,
yeah.
I'd say the most I was doing was like when I was probably like when I was like a bacher, like an older bacher, like say like 18.
18, I think years old. I think years old.
The
Oh,
the
yeah,
songs, I was more on it. I was more involved in it, so I sort of knew what I had to do.
yeah,
But today's days, I feel like the players are like so much better. Like I don't know, the whole band quality, the players, everything's amazing these days. So like I wouldn't, I could just stick to my kumsitzes. I just
yeah,
so I mean, that's what happened. Like I would play like here and there. I would play as a bucker, like with my guitar. As I started getting
yeah,
better, I practice a lot, and I would play at kumsitzes, and then in Eretz Yisrael, I bought my guitar, um, and then, once in a while, people will call me, oh, can you play for this, for that, for Purim, for whatever it was. And I'm saying this is after I got married. So I started playing, and eventually I just got like more into it. So I play like currently how I use my musical talents is
yeah.
I play guitar and sing at like events. So like for example tonight, Baruch Shem, I have a Sheva Brachas.
Oh,
Someone's some family has shared brachas and they wanted music, so they hired me. So I'm gonna play with, I'm gonna play my guitar and sing. Sometimes I play with different instruments, keyboards, drummers, percussionists, whatever. So that's what I'm doing. I play at like fundraiser events, at varts, bar mitzvahs, whatever you want me to do, I could do. I could sing
Yeah.
and play wherever you want me to. Um, and yeah, that's currently what I am doing, musically. Yeah, and then obviously I try to record some music with Thank You Hashem, Baruch Hashem.
Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Um, how did you first get drawn into music, and how did you first get started in music?
So drawn into music, like I said, I was I can only say that I was literally born with Hashem. When Hashem sent me down here, he gave me some music pill, and that's it. Like, you know, people, it's a stereotypical answer. People are gonna say like the cliche answer, like, yeah,
Yeah,
as a young kid, I walked over to piano and I started, I mean, yeah, like that's sort of what happened. The singing actually was something that was later. It was later. My Yeah, like my father is a chazan, like he's a cantor, he's a chazan in the shul. He's always been
oh,
for years, and he always wanted me to like help out, sing, and and I was not at all into chazanis when I was younger because like my father liked it and I didn't really. Um, and I would never want to help him. I was shy. I didn't really sing much. Like, yeah, I would sing by, Zmiris, on Shabbos. But it's funny, as like a young kid, I had like a gruffy, like, I didn't have the typical sweet like kid voice. So, you know, I, I never really sang. I wasn't going around, I wasn't singing as a kid. I was just more like um, you know, playing music. And then, yeah, again, like I said, as I got older, you get in yeshiva, you start singing with your friends. You have kumsitzes, you this and that. You go to different Shabbos, Shabbos meals, and you eat by people and you sing, and that's how it developed. And as I got older, I also like I in shul I would help my father a lot, like like I would be his choir, you know. Um,
yeah,
so all those things like harmony and everything, it came natural to me. And so that's why, again, like as a little kid, what I don't know what inspired me, but I would say like the first, like in my grandparents' house, I remember like watching like the first Hask video, like
yeah.
19, whenever it came out, 1989 or whatever it was, with like MBD and, the old, all that
Oh,
stuff. Any old videos that, MBD was, I mean, I love MBD and I grew up listening to MBD. Not that I don't like Freed, but MBD was like my main
yeah.
man, Um, and you just I loved like, as a young kid, it's funny, like some young kids like sing, like my kids do that, when they're 3 years old, they were, singing and everything was a mic. Um, and as my 4-year-old likes, he likes guitars, he likes drumming now, but everything to me was anything that was like a pan, anything that was like a stick was like Yisrael Lamb's conductor's stick
Yeah.
is the con and I did that as a kid. So I didn't sing. I was just doing like I was imitating Yisrael
you
Lamb
you were
conducting the
pretending
orchestra.
to, yeah,
What was that?
you were pretending to do the band.
Conducting. I was like copying him, as a conductor, because like, and I mean, I have video footage of it. Like, my mother used to take a lot of videos, and like, and I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. I don't know if I could do that today. Like, I had the moves, I had all the moves. Um, so, and, again, that was my inspiration. Like, I just loved music and hearing it in the house, and and seeing it, like, any of those videos, those performances, and all that stuff. Really, I guess that's what really shaped and molded me. Um, and yeah, I was just I was I was just always listening to music and loving it. Yeah, and then what did you ask me? I feel like I'm missing something that you asked me. You asked me, oh, when did I oh, and did I get into it? Yeah, I feel like I in the last question when I was answering, I said the same. I got into it by as young as like I don't know, 12 years old or younger, playing at you know an aunt's Sheva brachas or something, and playing at like my sister's Vart, when I was 16 or whatever it was, like you know, um, and then slowly with my guitar, I remember Ari Bauman. I don't know how I got hooked up. I don't even know, like, I don't remember all the details, but like Ari Bauman, who plays keyboard in Brooklyn. I don't know if you know Ari Bauman.
Yeah,
An amazing kid.
he plays guitar for Blue Melody, right?
No, that's Ari Boyanju. That's Ari Boyanju. So Ari
Oh,
Boyanju, yeah, Ari Boyanju actually also I know a little bit. He's also an amazing guy. I actually bought like my first good like pedal board. Like a pedal board is like, what they have on the floor, the
yeah,
guitarists, and
yeah.
yeah. So I bought one off him um years ago. That was like my first good pedal board I bought off him. Um, you know, no, Ari Bauman is a keyboard player. He plays keyboard.
Oh,
He played at a lot of bar mitzvahs and varts and things like that. So I would like go to like bar mitzvahs with him and play along like electric guitar. I played a few weddings. I played a few events, Hanukkah here and there. Purim, I played along with him on my guitar. Um, yeah, that's really that's like the beginning how I got into it. And then
yeah,
again, like I said, I mean, I would say that I did sort of after I got married, I sort of like I made a conscious decision that like, oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to push myself to do music. I'll just get a regular job and do what regular people do. And they say music's very hard, and it's you're out late at night, and it's very hard, and shalom bias and all this stuff. And
yeah,
and so I would get like a few gigs a year where it was like very busy season and people were looking to hire people. Like, for example, Purim or, I don't know, sometimes a Yontif and like Boimer or something. I got like a few gigs here and there, and I wasn't really
yeah.
pushing myself out there. And then I have to give credit, happens to be like 6 years ago, like pre-COVID we're talking about, Elchanan Garten
Okay,
House. I don't know if you know Elchanan Garten House.
no.
Uh, to Garden House. He has some awesome clips on YouTube. He's a amazing, amazing piano keyboard player, and he does like bands and stuff. He's amazing. Um, he put out stuff with like Shmuel Younger, with Lipa Schmelzer. He just put out like awesome Shmuel Kunda medley. You can check it out on YouTube. So he's a first cousin of my wife's, and I remember him playing at like my wife's like younger siblings Shaver Bruxton when he was like also like a little kid. Um, and he calls me up one day and he's like, listen, he's like, Ari, he's like, I think you have a great voice. And he's like, I get these jobs, like whatever, sometimes like they need a singer. Dude, he's like, come see me at this bar mitzvah or whatever. And I was like, think about it. I was like, you know what? You got it. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
and he happens to be like, I give O'Connor Gardenhouse a lot of I give him a big thanks that he really pushed me and like sort of got me re-involved with doing music. And yeah, now Baruch Hashem, like it's been pretty busy, with gigs and stuff
Uh,
like that. Yeah, that's that.
Um, what kind of theme or message are you trying to promote, and how do you connect with your audience?
So theme or message. So first of all, I well, it really depends on the song. It really depends on what the event is, but I try to be myself, like meaning, let's say,
Mm,
what's natural for me to play. What do I like? What am I quote unquote good at? What's my style? I just try to use my own voice and my own playing and just be real with it. And whoever likes it. And if someone's not gonna like it, al tam vareach, as they say. So um,
Yeah,
but again, I do have to sort of, you know, I do sort of have to see like when I come to an event, right? I come to an event and I see the crowd is a certain type of crowd, and then you go to another event and the crowd is a different type of crowd, or
yeah,
sometimes they'll even tell you like we're looking for this type of vibe and whatever, and like sometimes like I've been honest straight up with them and tell them like I don't know what you're looking for, but I might not be good for you because you might be looking for something else. And the worst thing is to me is being in the wrong place, you know, is doing your
con,
thing in the wrong place when people are really not connecting.
yeah,
But overall, a lot of the gigs and jobs that I do are, I say I'm like background music, and if it turns into like adjoining kumsitz, then it's nice.
yeah,
But a lot of people just like at a shaver brachas, let's say, like they don't want you to be, you know, they're not coming to a concert, they're not coming to you know, they're not coming to a kumsitz. And sometimes you have like some families that are, like music and are into it, and then you'll see some of them joining in and things like that. But then again, I've been hired for like backyard kumsitz in where everyone's sitting around, and that's what they want to do. So you know, yeah, I just I do my own thing. Like I'm not this singer, I'm not that singer, but like you know, I just try to be myself. Um, even singing, anyone's song, no matter whose song it is that I'm singing um at an event, I'll, I'm just trying to sing it like me, not like that. I'm not trying to copy that singer. I'm trying to be me, sing it. Um,
yeah.
yeah, that's that. I just like overall like a good Jewish vibe, that feel like that's authentic and coming from the neshama. That's really it. That's it.
Yeah. Um, what is the pivotal moment in your musical career that changed everything for you?
It's a hard question to answer. I honestly don't think I can't say that I've had like one pivotal moment, honestly. I mean, I could maybe say that like, I did one event and from that event, like like people that were let's say which I actually don't do often, because people associate me, I think, more with my guitar and like me playing my guitar and singing in Kumsitz vibes than they do with like me with a mic standing on stage at a wedding singing.
Yeah,
But I've done it numerous times. So let's say I was at a wedding and then like people didn't necessarily know who I was, and they were like, "Oh, amazing job! They loved it. What's your name?" And from there, like getting more jobs because the Chassan's friend liked you and then he hired you for his wedding, things like that. So I don't know. I feel like every gig, every job could be like a pivotal job, but I don't feel like there was one job that was like, all right, this job, I did this job, and now like I'm in, my career is in Shemayim. Like, it's ooh, it's just blown out of the
yeah,
water. I don't know. I can't, I don't know. Maybe I could say that, you know, uh, I don't know if it was like the pivotal moment, but maybe it was like putting out my first song with Thank You Hashem. Like I never released a song before, and then I released a song. You know,
yeah.
um, maybe that's what it was. Well, and I'll tell you a secret. Like honestly,
What?
Thank You Hashem, the person that runs Thank You Hashem is happens to be my brother-in-law. So
Oh, really?
that is the reason why I have the schluss and the opportunity and the privilege to record with Thank You Hashem. Um, you know, so I can say that. Um, so yeah, I don't really have like one particular, watershed moment, where that's like the pivoting point in my musical career, you know. I just look at it like
Yeah.
I'm still starting out. Like I'm still, I still look at it like my music career is young. Like I'm not, you know,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just a regular
still
guy that does
growing.
some kumsitzes around town. Well,
You're still growing. You're
every day, yeah, every day. Hopefully every day. Trying.
yeah. Um, how many singles or albums do you have out now?
Okay, I have no albums out. I just have at this point I have three singles. First one is Higher, Higher Mal Makodesh, which whatever. And then that was my first that I put out with a music video. Um, and then my second one is actually I feel like no one really knows this one. Like it's funny, a guy in shul who I done with came over to me like 2 weeks ago, and he's like, oh, Miles,
Yeah.
talk about the new song. I'm like, what new song? And he's like, I know that song. What's it called? Panim Yafo. And I was like, that's not a new song. That's out for like I don't know, a long time already.
Oh
He's like, oh,
yeah.
I never heard it. He's like, I never heard it. Um, so Panim Yafo, which came out less than a year ago. Um, and then Umacha, which came out in the summer, right after the week after Tisha B'av. So that's the three songs right now. And Bezrat Hashem, you should just know that we're about to drop a new song. So that's maybe a surprise for you. We're about to
Hold
drop a new
on.
single. We're about to drop a new single, Bez Hashem. Right now, the schedule is to come out on Matzah Shabbos of next week. So that's January 17th. Um, Matzah Shabbos, Parshas Vayera. Yeah. Um, and yeah, I'll give you the name. It's called Why Me. It's an English song.
Oh,
And it's my, if I can say it, it's my favorite song so far. Um, and yeah, I feel like you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
hold on.
Yep.
You have three singles out. It's
Yep.
one of the singles out that I just played.
That's my third single, Umacha. Yeah. That's
Oh,
my latest one that came out in what was it, August. It came out after Tisha B'av. Yeah.
yeah.
That's the most recent one.
Okay. When you are not performing, what do you do?
What do I do?
Yeah.
Um, well, a few different things, but um, well, first of all, I'm a father with children and a
Oh,
husband with a wife.
okay.
Um, and I happen to what I do is I sell fish. I sell cured fish, um, like cured fish platters, like salmon, tuna,
Yeah.
tartar, things like that. I so I have that's what I happen to be doing right now. People order for Shabbos, and they're making a kiddush. They want to send a gift. They want to eat it for themselves. The kids want to eat it. Um, so now, I also I
Oh,
also it's 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 a little bit slow, but I also sell pools, swimming
pools
pools. Yeah, swimming pools. Yeah, I sell new swimming pools. So if you want a pool, you
for
know,
kids.
in the Jersey area, you reach out to me and yeah, we can build you a swimming pool. No,
Ye-
like a real pool in the ground.
A real pool, not for kids. A real.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. Um, I am wondering if you know any of my uncles. Let's speak after. Or yeah, let's speak after.
No problem. Or we could do Jewish
Um,
geography. We could do Jewish geography on the podcast if you want. It's your choice.
no,
Call me.
yeah, I like keeping my
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
private.
yeah. You like keeping it separate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Personal and yeah.
yeah. Um, how do you use your faith in your music?
How do
You use your faith in your music.
how do I produce?
No faith. How do you use your faith in your
Oh,
music?
how do I use my faith in my music?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna sing a song that that I don't believe that the messaging aligns with my faith, or or that I don't believe in the messaging of it, or it just doesn't talk to me. Inst- Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Um, what what's your favorite part about the creation process?
About which process?
The creation process. The creation process.
Oh, the creation process. Oh, the creation
Yeah,
process is quite a process. I mean, I can't speak for others, but I know for myself, the creation process is fun, but there's a lot that goes into it. Now, I'm not actually, you know, in the studio engineering, producing and working on all the stuff, but I come in and I have to sing. So
yeah,
first of all, let's rewind. So first of all, thank you, Hashem has the best, amazing, amazing producer. So you got Mendy Portnoy at the helm, legend, and then you got Yehuda Pinsker, legend. And so I worked with Mendy a few times, but Mendy's got a lot of other projects going on. So you know, he deals with everything behind the scenes. Him and Yehuda work together on stuff, but mainly um I work with Yehuda. So like I record vocals with Yehuda. We discuss details of like how we want to sound. So I'll give my
yeah,
input, you know, of what I'm thinking musically, um, what I want to hear, what I like, I don't know, maybe they'll call me, very Pachechi and particular, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the other artists, it is by the other artists, um, but Yehuda's amazing. Yehuda's a genius in music. I feel like he comes up with his stuff and ideas and sounds and is just amazing. As you know, he's
yeah,
behind like tons of Thank You Hashem like hits. Him and Mendy, they come up with awesome sounds, ideas, and like just production value is like awesome. It's really like like it's like the bass. It's like the bassist in a band. It's like the bass
yeah,
in music. Like you don't like people don't give it enough respect because like you don't hear it outright like a saxophone. You don't hear it outright like a singer or the drums. But if it wouldn't be there, would you notice that it's missing, you know? So
Yeah.
it's the same thing. Like producers, people, not all people understand what they do, how many little fine tunings they have to do. They have to go back in, do this, do that, switch it up, change the sound. No, this is not good. We need to do that there. And it's like, and then they need to coordinate. Like, if there's any, you know, let's get a guitarist on the track. So they're coordinating with the guitarist to get his tracks and use it in the, implement it into the mix. Um, Horns, drummers, anything that's going on, they're busy with this, making all these arrangements. So it's really amazing, and they make you sound good ultimately.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a lot that could go on from when a song, from inception, like from when you first start a song to when it actually gets released. Um, and yeah, and that's that. That's so it's a big, as they say, and it's a big process.
A big
But
job. A big job.
yeah, 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 yeah. But again, I don't say, I would say the big job for me is to sing it well, that it comes out well, and the rest they do is magic. And then I give my inputs and then tell them to change it. And
Yeah.
and then they might want to, just smack me over the head, but getting
Yeah.
annoyed from me, but that's just too bad, or they tell me
Yeah.
too bad, and this is what we're doing. So yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a yin and a yang, as they say.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, that's that.
Um. Okay. Um. What is your favorite song of your music?
So honestly, I would say that my song coming out now is my favorite. Um, for various different reasons. Um,
Oh,
uh,
why?
huh?
Why? Why is it this song your favorite song?
Well, the one that's coming out that hasn't come out yet.
Yes.
Because I feel that it's like the most me. It it like utilizes it, like I can utilize my voice. So it showcases my voice and my abilities very well, honestly. Um, I think so. So it's like the most my style, maybe. I also resonate and really connect to and like that style of music. So I like that I like that I put out a song in that style. I think it's also different for a lot of people. You know, uh, it's gonna be a different sound for a lot of people that is not typical in necessarily Jewish music. But the
Yeah.
messaging to me is very Jewish and very relatable for a lot of people. Like I feel like a lot of people, whether you're an adult, whether you're this way, whether you're a young kid, a bucker, a married man, a grandfather, I feel that most people can relate to the message. For men and women, and
Mm.
um, you know, I love the arrangement on it. I love the sound of it, and yeah, that's I would say that's gonna be my favorite. But up to date, I can't like up till now that from the last three. I mean, I can't, you know, I can't pick. I can't necessarily pick a favorite. I mean, I would say Higher is my favorite, maybe because it was like my first, and it was like a cool music video shoot. Um, and um, and the song, I believe the song is a very very nice, catchy song. And the message is nice of it. Um, yeah, that's what I would say. I guess that's what I would say. Yeah.
Um.
The song, before you ask another question, I just want to, the song
Yeah.
Umacha that you played, my latest song that I put
Yeah.
out, um, is it was really on the fly. It was really quick, actually, like from when I recorded to put it out. And it was something that like I heard the demo of it and I was like, you know what? I'm like, I really love this bop. Like I love the song and
Yeah,
Tisha Bob's coming up and I feel like and I just wanted to achieve like this like 80s pop sound from the music. And I felt like it was a perfect song for like post Tisha B'Av. Like after Tisha B'Av, like camps back, everyone's in the pool, making barbecues, you know, having fun, going on trips, and like people are just like in up mode, and it's like
yeah,
and the song like Kiva Maye, like it just keeps you, you're driving on a trip. It's like a good driving song in the car. It's like a fun song. So like I just wanted to, I was like, yeah, I want to put this out and like just I want it to be like a uplifting, happy, fun, great groove. Like that's what it was. So, you know, that's what a macha is to me. You know, now, it doesn't have to be necessarily my favorite. It's just that,
yeah.
and it's not. But I thought it was like a fun, good song that like the words matched like the music and the message. Yeah. So
Okay. Um, who did you
give me a second.
get inspired by both Jewish and non-Jewish singers to start singing?
You're asking the controversial questions now. Who
Hmm.
who you uh did you ask this question to the other guests?
I asked to every guest.
Oh, nice. And what was generally the answer?
Um, it depends on the singer.
All right, I will be totally honest, and that's just too bad if people don't like it. I'll be totally honest. Um, Listen, I'll be honest. We know that music has a big kayak. Music's like the biggest kayak, right?
Yeah,
And I, and if you're someone that's into music, there's a lot of music out there, right? And it's very easy to listen to it. Um, so you know, I will say throughout my years, as a bacher, whatever, I did
yeah,
have my times that I would listen to non-Jewish music. Um, I never listened to like inappropriate non-Jewish music. I never liked pop anyways, like meaning I never liked like pop or rap or any genre that has a lot of like not appropriate music, very just, not, yeah, not proper, not
yeah,
not sneeze, not like not modest music. Not that any of the music that is non-Jewish is modest, but there are some
yeah,
songs that, and again, like to me, I always would say that like to me it was the music that I loved, and it wasn't about like the words or the messaging and the words. It was just more the music and the, you know, yeah, it was just the music itself that I found to be, that I really liked, especially like guitar driven music, like heavy rock music and things like that. Um, Baruch Hashem, I don't listen anymore. Um,
yeah,
but I definitely had my time that I was, pretty
yeah,
into it. And you can say that, of course, it inspires you, it influences you. But honestly, I think at this point, I can't say that it influenced me in a bad way. I mean, I'm not putting out music that's like, vulgar or
yeah,
not
yeah,
anything. Maybe, maybe it's a certain sound or certain, and first of all, with that, there's the Chachma Bagay Taman, there's and they definitely, there's definitely super talent there. And you just have to know how to, it's like the Kalva Rebbe, it's like taking Solo
yeah,
Kakashmar, which, you heard, we all know that's throughout the years and the big scene, like, no matter what he wants to say, but somebody like Mordechai, he's got plenty of songs that are non-Jewish songs. So he took straight up non-Jewish songs, changed the words, and made it Jewish,
and made
you know. And
Jewish.
so, and I mean, a lot of singers have done that, and there are a lot of singers that have taken, like I say, they ripped off a current radio song. They just they just changed like they changed little things about it, but it's really basically a radio song that they just threw some Jewish words into and changed around like the arrangement of chords a little bit, but it has the same time as said radio song that you could turn on the radio and listen to. So yeah, you know, I've heard plenty of non-Jewish music, and
Yeah.
but again, yeah, I mean, you definitely get influenced in it and inspired by it. Yeah, inspired. That's weird. That's not. I don't know if that's right to say that you're
Yeah.
inspired by the non-Jewish music. But what I say is that I want to take any influence that I have and use it in Jewish music and see how I can use it in Jewish music. And make it Yiddish. Make it Jewish.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to have the non that that
Nine.
negative messaging. Yeah, that is that.
Okay. Why did you decide to become a singer?
Why did I?
Did so, decide
What?
to become a singer?
Um, I don't know. I just again I think it wasn't like so much of a decision. The I would say the most uh I'm sorry, the biggest decision like was like, again, like I said, like was when my cousin Gartenhouse reached out to me, and then I was like, before that I was like tethering. Like I would do a chuppah here and there. I would do
Yeah.
I would play here and there. I wasn't so busy with it. So I never considered myself then like a singer. But after he reached out to me and he's like, I have these gigs, and then we did a few gigs together, I was like, okay, I was like, you know what? I'm like, I'm gonna push this, like let me, yes, I'm available for gigs. Yes, I sing. Yes, if you wanna hire me, hire me. You know, After that, I just made the conscious decision to like be more into it, get more involved in it, you know, and that's when I wanted like to put out music, and because it's good to put out music, especially these days. People like being marketed to, people like seeing a product, and so it's
Yeah.
important. Um, and yeah, so I guess that was like, I guess then was really like my, okay, let me get like go deep and try to go deep into it, into the whole singing world. But yeah.
Okay. Um, you said you are coming out with a new song. We will skip that. What what what's the most rewarding part about singing?
Should I give like the typical answer? I guess I'll get. I mean, again, it's true. Um, the most rewarding part is having is knowing that you inspired somebody, you touched somebody in a certain way, that you made them feel something. You made you entertained them, that they like enjoyed your music and had like sipuk from it and had enjoyment from it. Um, you put them in a good mood, you know, things like that. You know, you sang a nice song that like someone's like, hey, I haven't heard that song. That's an oldie. I love that song. And like, you know, and that's it. Putting to me, it's like giving people an enjoyment, a good Yiddish enjoyment, that they can enjoy. And then also like having random people come over and be like, oh my, oh, you sing that song. Oh, my kid, every morning in the car, like my kid wants that song. Um, it's not because, oh, I'm getting plays, or because they love my, it's because that kid obviously loves that song. whatever it is talks to him and he loves that song and it gives him some type of enjoyment, that, you know, um,
Yeah.
someone coming over to me telling me that, um, they have whatever going on and they listen to the song and a lot and it really gives them chizuk and I'm like amazing. Like, that to me that's like that's unbelievable. That's not even something that I could, you know, that's not something that I could
Yeah.
you know, it's not something that I, predict. I could just put out the music and hope that people connect to it and enjoy it. And if it happens, it's amazing. So when you see that, some people it affects some people in a positive way. That's the best.
Okay. Um, who did you record with, and who did you perform with on stage so far?
Record with? Well, record with not like me and somebody else, nobody yet.
No,
Um,
not
I would love to, not yet,
yet.
but I would say I am in the Empty song that Thank You Hashem put out for Hanukkah about the empty hole in the donut. And on there, there's like there's like 30 different, singers, artists, whatever that recorded on it. So I guess you could say I'm on a song with a bunch of different singers. Um, yeah, that's that. I'm saying singing with like personally, I've sung with a few singers. Um, I would say like the biggest, like the most notorious that I've sung with was Avram Fried. Um,
Wow.
but it wasn't like official. Like a friend of mine had a simcha, and so I sang with him a little bit. Um, yeah, I would say that's. I mean, maybe you could say that I sang with MBD. We were around the table somewhere at someone's house, and I was playing
Uh,
guitar, and we were all singing. But it's not. It's not like really performing on stage, or like performing at some event, really.
yeah.
But yeah,
Um, at what age did you start performing live?
at what age?
Yeah, did you start performing live?
Again, like I said, probably when I was 10 plus years old, I was playing, keyboard for family simchas and parties. You know, but like playing guitar, um, I would say in camp. I would say in camp. That was the first time playing guitar on stage, like with a band, when
Yeah,
I was a teenager, probably, probably 15, you know.
yeah. Um, how did you come up with your song?
Mm, good question. It happens to be I don't really come up with the songs. Any of the songs that I put out right now are were composed by and Thank You Hashem team. Either Eli Melech Bloomstein, the song actually that I'm coming out with now in a few weeks, Bez Hashem, is actually a composition by my brother-in-law Aryeh Bloomstein, who's brothers with Eli Melech Bloomstein. Um,
Oh,
so again, like sometimes we change it around a little bit, add, subtract, do some arrangements on it, change it around a little bit
yeah,
musically, but overall, these songs so far have all been composed by others, not by me. I'm not, as things stand right currently, I'm not a big composer. I've composed a few songs. I try. I'm not. I maybe. maybe I'm wrong or maybe I'm right, but I just don't know that I have like a I don't know if I have like the talent of composing. I could be wrong about that, but I don't know if I have it naturally. I don't know. So far, I haven't seen that I have it naturally.
No. Um, what countries have you performed in?
What was that? Oh, what
What?
countries?
Yeah.
America.
Only?
Yes. Israel and Israel, that's it. But like in Israel, it was like when I was in yeshiva there and we played in some town on Purim. Like a few, I don't know, one of the guys knew somebody in this town and random town. I don't remember where. And we put together
Yeah.
a band and we played there like on Purim night, like, but that's not, I haven't, again, I'm not an international star, I'm not international, like, I'm just a regular guy.
One day you will do all the countries.
Oh man, and that would be amazing. That would be amazing. That would
Yeah,
be cool.
that would. Yeah.
I'm into that. Yep.
Uh, what is your favorite type of gig?
What's my favorite type of gig?
Yeah.
My favorite type of gig is where like the people like want to be there.
Yeah.
Um, Not necessarily for the music, like, but they all enjoy being there, and then a lot of times because they enjoy being there, they enjoy the music. You know, so those are very like enjoyable gigs where people are like there, they want to be there, and then you just like bring there. Those are best.
Okay. Um, I have a separate question. Before we get on to the last question, I want to ask you, are you related to Benjamin Rubin?
Benjamin Rubin. No, who is that? A singer?
Yeah, I he had the last name as you, but
Where's he from?
Queens.
I don't know. I do not know. I think I think I saw Benjamin Rubin the name somewhere. I wasn't sure where, and then I was like, I wonder if I'm related to him. It's possible. I
Yeah,
just don't know.
and I am curious. I interviewed him. He has the same last name as you.
It could be. It could be but there are different Rubens. It's a popular name, so there are a lot of Rubens, and some are related and some aren't. You know, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. What
All right.
would what words of inspiration do you have for the world?
What words of inspiration do I have for the world?
Yeah.
Um, I would say that no matter what you're going through, no matter how hard, things seem, that's easier said than done, but really try to tap into, having a Muna and Hashem and just not giving up, just not giving up. Um, just keep davening and keep talking to Hashem and you know, ultimately he will help you. He will help you. That's what I think that I have. That's my inspirational message to people. That's that.
Okay. We have. Uh, okay. I would like to thank you for coming on, letting me interview you. Thank you for your time and have a rest of.
All right. Thank you, Yehuda. It was a pleasure schmoozing with you, and I had such a great time. And I, yeah, really appreciate you having me on your podcast.